This is a CBS News special report. I'm Jeff Glor reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York, and there appears to have been a mass casualty incident at a school in South Florida, a shooting. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland is what you're looking at right now as some students make their way out. Our CBS Miami station WFOR spoke to the Margate Fire Department. It is reporting at this hour, at least 20 victims.
I don't know how we're alive.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School freshman Bruna Oliveira says the gunman was just outside their door.
For like 30 minutes, we were just like praying and crying, and then the police came and we just got out.
When the lockdown was over, distraught parents raced to the scene. Even more emotional teenagers relieved to be outside. School Superintendent Robert Runcie.
It's a horrific situation. It's just a horrible day for us.
We realized it was an active shooter, and information just started pouring in about kids being shot, and one of my best friends was in the building and she wasn't answering, and I just didn't know if any of them were okay.
I saw confusion and panic in the faces of people that I went to school with, played rec sports with, and saw every single day of my life for the last 4 years.
I lost quite a few friends yesterday. One that I had class with, who was very close to me, and knowing that they're gone, and I would argue with them. That one person that I had class with, I had arguments with him, and never being able to say I'm sorry and that I care about him, it kills me inside.
Nobody should have to go through this, ever. My mom's best friend was waiting all night because she couldn't find her son, and then now he's no longer with us. And I think that this could have been prevented.
I also want to take some time to share with our audience the lives that some of these victims led. And they were so loved, not only by their families, but by this community, which is now out in full force in a candlelight vigil to celebrate their lives. And we'd like to do the same here at CBSN. So I'm going to start with Alyssa Allendeff. She was 14 years old. She was a student at Stoneman Douglas. She was a soccer player for the Parkland travel soccer team. And here's what her mother said earlier. She said that she loved her daughter, and I knew at the point that she was gone. I felt it in my heart. Alyssa was a beautiful, smart, talented, successful, awesome, amazing soccer player. You'll be greatly missed, Alyssa. We love you so much. You'll always be in our hearts. Scott Beigel was a geography teacher. He was killed as he tried to usher students back into his classroom when the shooting broke out. Kelsey Friend, one of his students, told another network in a very emotional interview that he was shot outside the classroom door, but that he saved her life. Martin Duke was 14 years old. Nicholas Dore was a senior. He was killed in the shooting, and he was recruited by the University of Indianapolis. DeMarco, he was going to be on their swim team, and he would have been an incoming freshman this fall. And one of the individuals at the school said this about Nick. Nick's death is a reminder that we are connected to the larger world, and when tragedy hits in places around the world, it oftentimes affects us at home. And that was words for the Indianapolis university president. You also may have heard about Jamie Gutenberg. Jamie was among the victims here at the high school, DeMarco. According to a Facebook post by her father, Fred, he said this: "I'm broken as I write this, trying to figure out how my family gets through this. We appreciate all the calls and messages, and we apologize for not reacting to everyone individually. Hugs to all, and hold your children tight." I'm just going to read quickly the names of some of the other victims. Chris Hickson, Luke Hoyer, he was 15 years old, Kara Longren, Gina Montalto, Joaquin Oliver, Elena Petty, Meadow Pollock, Helena Ramsey, Alex Schachter, Carmen Schrentrup, and Peter Wang. And finally, DeMarco, you and others around the world have heard about the heroic efforts of Aaron Feist. He was the assistant football coach. He was killed as he threw himself in front of the killer, trying to shield his class, the students that he protected from the oncoming bullets, and he was killed in doing that. He is a true hero. He died the same way that he lived, one of his classmates said. He put himself second. He was a very kind soul, a very nice man. He died a hero.
Thousands of students across the country walked out of school today to protest gun violence. The walkouts took place across major U.S. cities, New York, Washington, Chicago. But this movement started in Parkland, Florida, the site of last month's deadly school shooting. The students are demanding lawmakers act on passing gun control legislation. What do they say to you, Nikki, these students? What do they hope to accomplish with this walkout?
Today, they're really focused on remembering the classmates that they lost. Of course, the 17 minutes, 1 minute for each of them. But their other mission is gun reform. Just last week here in Florida, a new gun bill was passed that raised the minimum age from 18 to 21 to buy firearms. It also armed teachers, and that wasn't what these students wanted. They didn't want school staff armed. They wanted a ban on assault-style rifles. So they're not done. They tell me they are not going to stop fighting until they see Congress pass some new gun legislation. Rena?
Today marks 19 years since the deadly school shooting in Columbine, Colorado, and students across the country are using the day to draw attention to their call for gun control. Thousands walked out of school this morning trying to keep pressure on lawmakers and to honor the victims of Columbine and the many other school shootings. The rallies are an extension of the response to the Parkland, Florida massacre back in February.
But as you can see right now, there are easily 3,000 to 4,000 students, mainly high school students, that have joined here with their various signs, basically talking about coming together and really supporting this anti-gun violence movement. They're talking about being educated. They're talking about ways that they can get what they want to accomplish. Still on the agenda, a ban on assault weapons. Still on the agenda, wanting it to be harder for people to get guns. And really the message that I'm seeing on a lot of these posters is protecting the future. And these children really and students know that they are the next to lead this country, and they say that they are going to make sure that their voices are heard. There's also voter registration tables here to ensure that those who can vote will vote.
This is video footage, so for posterity, we're at a staging of the student-led. Okay, I'm redoing it horizontal. This is for the montage.
to make, really recognize parents who are feeling so sad and lost. And this is so important for us and for the nation, for us to be a part of this. And I'm so proud. And so I really appreciate that you have done this, and just, I think we should never give up. And I'm just so grateful for this.
It all started with my idea on the day the Wednesday in March when all the high schools were going out and we were going on the field trip, and I was disappointed and I wanted to do something. So I went to the principal and talked with her about why I was upset about the students not joining the walkout. And she said that there was an anniversary of the Colombian school shootings on April 20th, and she suggested that I do something about it, and I agreed.
Liz, where are we going?
Wabasha.
Why?
Because we're going to Capitol.
Why?
We're going to brawl.
Why?
Because of the gun violence.
I know, when I told her.
We are Latin America! We fight! I fight! No more violence! End gun violence! No more violence! End gun violence! No more violence! End gun violence!
Meanwhile, students gathering on the steps of the Capitol Friday afternoon.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Some as far away as Rochester and Stewartville, hoping to put additional pressure on lawmakers for tougher gun laws.
Some students around the metro and across the country are on the move again.
They walked out of their classrooms to commemorate the anniversary of the 1999 Columbine school massacre. This is the third large-scale walkout against school violence in the metro since 17 people were killed at a high school in Parkland, Florida. Students gathered at the St. Paul Capitol and told Susan Elizabeth Littlefield why they're at it again.
It was a lesson in civics, but these students weren't at the Capitol to learn. They were there to teach.
If we get enough people in here that support our message, that maybe they can convince others too.
How are you trying to get the attention?
The government, anyone who can help us, really, just everyone.
From Coon Rapids to Woodbury, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and beyond, students once again took a self-declared recess from school.
We need to make change, and if you don't make change, then more things like this are going to happen. And already, nothing's happened yet, and so we're just going to keep coming out here. And if it means that I miss English, then I miss English.
They certainly exercise their language arts skills, coming up with slogans to express their want for protection.
I still believe in the Second Amendment. I just think that there are certain guns out there that are way too powerful and too much of a responsibility for ordinary people to take on.
So they are taking on a responsibility of their own. Are you guys done?
Oh, no, this is just the beginning.
So what's next for these young people? They say the next big push is going to get more and more people who are turning 18 to go out and vote in November. At the Capitol, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO 4 News.